He's going in. He's trying to sniff out if anybody's close. Jankos, a lot of damage on Italy early. Good C5 for Flash here, but honestly, not really worth it. As a melee support, oh, quick enough. As a melee support, or melee support, for pronunciation, you prefer. Trading Flash for a ranged one is generally not worth it because it is so much more useful to have that Flash on Alistar in the laning phase, because once you hit level 2 or 3 with that Q flash, which means you cast the animation of Q and you flash in the middle of the animation and it pops out immediately, it's almost undodgeable unless you see it predicted. It can land you a kill, guaranteed, and then you can Kalista rolling. And then you can start rolling on so, gotta watch for that for
If you don't know, I'm also like listening to
as far as I know, I've been running Ignite every game.
Or whatever it is.
Very late in the games, and actually not much
Cool
action
stuff.
has happened early, so that would promote the usage of Exhaust.
It's actually interesting because both of these teams have been more focused on towers and moving around in the first sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then we've had really crazy team fights in our mid to late game. And those team fights will be interesting, or that laning phase might change a little. Power
Oh god, it's lagging a bit.
Now this matchup
I'm probably not going to be
if
talking
camps are
that much,
involved
Annie.
compared to
I always get this
level
little
one.
bit
Play
of
from
lag.
level 1, the edge should go to Sivir and Annie because they have double range and push advantage. But Rocket don't seem to care.
Use that relic shield.
I think unicorns are too scared here. You can trade like.
Okay, I'm just gonna
can't pop the
kind
Kalista
of
passive early. He's a melee range support.
let
He
this
has to
wall
push.
off
Vardex
and
has
get a load of
AoE. They
money.
might even challenge the next wave because this is going to tower.
at the moment.
We want to follow this race to level 2 and see who comes out on top. But Brawlers is already chunking at these minions when the next ones are coming. Now it's too late to enter the race. Both top laners did the same thing. Level 2 from a camp. They go to top lane. Playing extremely standard, which nowadays is not so standard anymore.
Exactly. We'll see who comes out ahead in our standard lane setup. Horo with an early invade. Damn it. Jankos with an early invade.
Both with an early invade.
And Horo up top. It was Jankos on screen. I'm going to have to try and get my tongue not tied. And we're going to reiterate the story. Elise, early push. I want to see what Horo builds if he's going to go tank.
But Elise is a jungler. Why she's so highly rated and has one of the highest win rates in solo queue right now. Coincidentally, you actually never see her because such a high ban rate is because she stays so sustained in the jungle. She barely uses her potions at all. That means she can gank from full HP right now. They're pushing in towards the low bot lane, and obviously Vardex has spell shield available. It's too early for dives. It's a very mirrored approach right here. Horo is in the top lane right now though. He has Cocoon.
So
Steve
20k should be a reasonable
finds
amount.
Horo.
Wow.
You saw him, Steve.
Stepped right in there. That's a little bit of a misplay.
Yeah. I mean, you
Might
really
be
need a ward to
cool
see the jungle.
farms.
You just saw him. Good poke. This is what I was talking about, the
That's what I
Elise Snar
needed.
combination.
No need to
To
get
me, feels more efficient at shutting down
fire.
one part of the map than the Nidalee Kalista Alistar combination feels. So 3 against
How
2, it's
many
harder to shut people
farms?
down than it is 2 against 1. And look at the wave position in the top lane too. It is frozen towards Steve, teleport is down on... it's frozen towards Vizichachi, teleport is down on Steve, so he needs help. But his jungler is currently camping the bottom side of the map. Horo will move to the mid lane.
Flash is used. Nuknuk held it late.
I want to see a Mad Life so badly. Just predict the flash, but I feel like Nuknuk's too good of a player that he'll simply just not flash it, man.
Even if it had connected,
Cleanse was available.
Gwen's there as well. But that's big. Power of Evil now with flash versus no flash
But
in the
look,
mid lane.
look at the synergy the Unicorns have developed.
I think
Like,
it was in there.
Steve got ganked when his lane was pushing back. And at the same time, there was a massive wave pushing into the tower, pressure for Power of Evil. Right before that hits, Nuktuk gets ganked, his summoner gets burned, so that wave will now bounce backwards again once the hit comes out of the tower, and suddenly Nuktuk finds himself in a very rough position. Now, Jankos has made his way to the top side of the map. Props to Unicorns above
This
bot
is
lane,
what
only
I'm
being
getting.
6 CS down. Remember, they got
We were in the
ganked
middle
by
of his
jungler
farm.
early,
I've
so
got this.
very even matchup.
Hey, he's getting a
To look for a javelin toss.
temple.
Actually,
Whoa.
Jankos is going to find Horo. Jankos is low on mana. Connects with Javelin, goes into Cougar form. Horo does have that skittering frenzy. Cocoon actually connects. Throws out a venomous bite. Come on, protect and the support from Power of
Going
Evil.
for it that way, I'm going it
Jankos
my
gets
way.
away. No summoner needed.
More than he bargained for. Remember, Power of Evil still has Ignite to cleanse. Good shield from Vardex. Some good punish on Vander here, but
God's
he has to sustain.
Well, Triumphant
Some
Roar's going to
videos
help
I'm
out.
watching.
So checking out the Incinerate and the Disintegrate. But look at the CS difference, but this Alistar lane has already built up. All of that stemming also from the level 1 aggression. You are well playing very, reserve.
Aggression backed up by jungle pieces.
Let's
Obviously,
just roll
it's so
with
easy
what
to
we've
go
got at the
aggressive on
moment.
bot lane when you know you can't get ganked.
He's getting so
They're
much
doing
more
it well.
money as I open my drink.
And level 6 is when this lane completely turns around. Yeah.
Because
Kalista
we're
has to
going
play
to try and
careful,
go as
but
far as we
Alistair at the
can.
other side can play careless. You can Unbreakable out of Tibbers, and you have Fate Skull to pull you back. So the
I'm getting
level
massive
of respect
lag
kind of
bot.
shifts all the way. Kalista has to be so careful. Because Flash Tibbers, you know, spell shield to deny combo can mean you're certain death. And Alistair can literally just walk up and do whatever he wants. Q support, you know, knock him back, immediately blow him up. So very interesting laning phase at every level of the game.
And we'll see how it translates because
And
Mr.
my
Wild
game
is winning out in the
lags
AD carry
so
position
much.
marginally. Backed early, which is why the CS is closing. But Chachi's winning top lane thanks to the gank. So we'll need to see if Chachi's Gnar can get strong enough to keep Mr. Ral's Kalista down.
Jankos just got revealed on a Skull Trap. He didn't want to move in and hop over the blue wall to stay unspotted. Or does have an advantage in that term. So he knows Jankos is top left doing race. A little aggression in the mid lane. On Oriana's shield, not really going to do too much. Now Horus showed on a ward on the bottom lane as it faded. So they saw him. So it pings on the minimap too. So
There you go.
by definition, they now know that that Jankos did the raves, which means
God,
following he'll
some
probably
lag.
do the wolves. So one ward or one
Well,
time
that's what most
spotting
of
the
the
enemy
game's gonna
jungler
be
can be
now,
enough for
isn't it?
these teams with this caliber
Lag,
to
bit
take
more
the next
lag,
1.5
more
minutes of
lag.
the game.
Well, Chachi
I'm just gonna
is
have to
gonna
bear
get
with it.
jumped on by Steve. Steve actually comes out ahead
Okay,
thanks to the
guys,
Maokai
okay.
passive. It's a little bit of heal.
Bear with it.
In the mid lane, looks like there's going to be a party. Wow, that's an early shockwave. Nukeduck didn't expect it. He's cleansed out. Horus jumped in, and he's got first blood. Now he's going to turn to Jankos. Connects with the cocoon. 1.6 seconds. The roaming anti-Moby boots. You are well back.
Deja vu from Hylissang. He coordinates with Horus, says, where are you going? Mid lane. Okay, I'll be there soon. Flashes in for the Q, travels along with Nukeduck, who just uses cleanse after 2 ticks of Ignite. And again, Vardex is solo farming in the bot lane. He is very self-sufficient. Now, he moves in. I like this ward, by the way, that's about to place. Gets vision of blue buff and Grump, and it's all the safety you need on the map, and you can even roam bot. Dive's not going to work, just stun and poke.
Well, they're going to try it. They got a
Flash.
flash
Okay,
from Mr.
okay.
Ralls. Vardax is in trouble. He's taking tower hits. Didn't get the spell
Yeah.
shield, though.
That wasn't perfect.
That
Was
was...
it earlier? Cool.
Well,
Good flash
either
by
way.
Rawlins then, I guess.
Aggressive play. Also, Vardax got a pickaxe and a second Doran's blade up against Mr. Ralls' compass.
Good reaction play 1v2. I think Rawlins could also just chill, take the boomerang hit on the backwards, rely on the heal to bait a little more. Obviously, it's very hard to predict that. You don't want to be that guy that gets dove and dies with flash up. Vardax has to flash out, or heal out. He still has his flash available, of course. Yeah, I like the synergy between Horo and multiple members on the sides of Unicorns. Horo and
All the
Hillside,
money
that's
we're
the growth.
getting.
Horo and PoE set that guy up beautifully. That's not something that just happens, you know. That's practiced very well. Really nice to see that.
Well, we're 9 minutes in. Horo's got a kill and assist. He's pressured multiple lanes. You said you wanted to see how he performs in Elise. Thus far, pretty good.
Yep. One could argue better than Jankos. However, Elise ganks our team effort.
So if you don't know what TT
His
is,
team has
that's
maybe communicated a little better
technological
here. This is what you
terms.
can do. Hillsang is available, no flash. So he's just watching, sightseeing. Okay.
And Rocket get away. They stole the previous raid as well, albeit it was a trade because Horus stole top. But smart that the moment it respawns.
Now,
so
Hillsang-
Rocket, I think, the objective.
Has no flash. Watch for that. Once Alistair hits level 6 Q flash, he's dead. He's just straight up dead because can't get out. Chachi, bit of a trade here, puts himself in tower range.
Not the greatest.
Ah, worked for him.
Minion.
Goes Minion and pokes.
So
Gets the wave,
funny.
that's all he needs. Steve is fine farming that on the tower. If they don't know where Horror is, this can be a lot of pressure right here. Horror's down on the bottom lane. He just passed the ward, so Rocket's aware of that. But Hillsang with flash down can get punished. Remember, every time you make a play and you use a summoner offensively, you leave yourself exposed for somebody else to trade that same summoner to you and get a kill. That's why Horror's lurking here. Looking for an opening. They know he's there though, because he passed that ward in Tribrush.
Is up for Hilly.
Got-
Rocket are paying
Are we
the
ready?
respect they need.
No, I need this.
Sentinel's actually not going to get spotted.
Where's
Don't go
tower?
close enough.
Up
The rolls.
two.
Tibbers, he's got stunned. Here comes Horo. Cocoon needs to connect.
Boomerang.
And it doesn't. It doesn't even get needed. Teleports are being channeled. It's cancelled from Steve. It is not cancelled from Chachi. They want the tower as well.
Yeah, disrespect from Rawlins. If you play Kalista enough, you know you can never trust your Sentinels. They have very low visibility. High You know, it's like when you watch a commercial on television and they deliver you the perfect product. No, it doesn't work that way. People constantly cite it. It doesn't see anything. Don't trust them. Don't even use them. Refuse it, because remember this one game in LPL 2 where there were 3 sentinels in the jungle just simply sites that all 3 of them invaded, and yeah, false sense of security. It's the worst. Raw is overextend. Send your cow into face check. You have face cow.
Unicorn secured the 3rd kill.
Good opening though, yet again, Hylissang. 2 kills that he's already contributed to at 11-minute mark with those Mobies first on Annie. Reminiscent of the Unicorns of Love in Spring, where Hylissang just on Annie just had all these engages constantly.
By the way, I just caught a glimpse of the player cam looking down the entire team. And Horo is talking up a storm.
I got everything.
Hands flying wide, he was dishing out orders. And you can see the level of coordination that the players have. Significantly improved.
And this is so ironic that Kiki's left the team because like it wasn't going anywhere and it wasn't just working out, and they had this democratic shot caller system in the Unicorns of Love, no central voice, and perhaps Horo could be the one becoming that, you know, GPS, that central voice for that team, guiding them. So far they do seem to be in sync. It doesn't randomly happen that Hylissang shows up in top lane for that kill, Hylissang shows up in mid lane for that kill, that power reveal, you know, sets up the ultimate, that Horo just randomly happens to be walking in there. That's very good lane control, very good execution on all these ganks. Unicorns are out. 3 kills up to 0. 1.6k in the lead.
And for Unicorns, where do they set their sights? They opened up a tower down bottom, and you can see the grouping in middle as well. But there's a risk of a dive here onto Vardags.
He has to flash.
It's not a risk anymore. Spell shield's available, as is flash, as is heal. Jankos pounces in, spell shield's been used. Javelin, that gets flashed. What's the cost? Look at UOL. They're grouping middle, Horo's coming top. Steve is going to flash the Cocoon.
The problem is, this was kind of predictable because the entire bot side, if you move so many people to your top side of the map, you have to respect Rocket enough as a team that they will do the same thing to you. Look at the wards that Rocket has accumulated in the red jungle. 4 Unicorns of Love. This dive was very telegraphed. Now, they're rotating from the right side into mid lane. For a pick, Unicorns move away from mid lane to top lane, so a lot of rotations going on right now.
Crepo, Unicorns lose Summon a Spell, Flash and Vardags, and their bottom tower, but they gain top tower only.
And Summoner Spell and Steve, so just even trade, but it is slightly predictable on both sides of the coin. It just depends how much you respect the enemy team and how much you value that additional experience you can try and leech and just try and survive.
Unicorns of Love will maintain control, and they seem to be moving around the map. Hilly has those Moby boots, no distortion yet, but Flash and Tibbers is up.
Look at the wards we have that I mentioned earlier in the red side jungle of the Unicorns. It's the same thing for Rocket. Complete mirror. And now Hylissang is roaming there. Now they want to catch people face-looking because they have bet on the dive on the mid lane tower. This is Power Reveal winning his mid lane matchup due to those ganks.
He's in trouble. He's in trouble. Cocoon is going to be flashed away from. Tower should be focused down.
They have Repel too.
Reset it. Well, actually, tower stands.
Yeah. Because there's no minions around. Remember, minions lower the armor of a tower, so don't be mistaken. That's why sometimes you see an 80 carry in the lane stuff just straight up die. Tower's on like 40%, 40 HP, and he thinks, okay, 1 hit, minions are gone. Our armor goes through the roof. We get a free trip to the base with no tower.
God.
Tower's going down now though. Roll 80 gold in the mid lane. Should go down to these minions right there on your screen. So nobody to pick up that local gold. Power Reveal's rushing over.
Gets it.
No. No
25.
gold. Is it?
No, it's not. You're right.
He misses the 50 gold. Correct. So,
if you're watching this now, put
the game
in the
difference.
comments
That's it.
potato.
Flash Tibbers is
I
available
don't know
for
why.
Hylissang.
Put potato.
Here comes Hilly. Let's see.
Yeah, just put
He
potato.
flashed. Oh, flash for
I've got
Flash.
no
Gets a stun.
reasoning, just
Cocoon
put
connects as
potato.
well.
Just
Always
so
going
like,
for the repel.
there's going to be a new thing if you get blood mount into the video.
Let's
watch this.
Of evil. Gonna try set up. Whoa!
Might start streaming
That was
this,
opportunistic.
actually.
Nah, he would try to bait in Nuketough in his E animation, but Nuketough simply just walks back. He doesn't need to see the creep time.
Okay, I'm going to stream.
Yeah, very good game. Wave clear in the mid lane, so no action here. Don't stay around too long. Just start moving into the side lanes, especially Chachi on his Gnar. He's not building The traditional Black Cleaver, I will split push you to death. No, he's building for
I'm
team
gonna
fights
do a bit,
because of the
though.
lineup from
Wait,
Unicorns.
this is going to be kind
When
of
our Boomerang connects
how
that slow, that
to
opens up for a
stream
Cocoon
something.
or Orianna Ball follow-up. Any of
Yes.
these slows
Taste-
is enough to prompt a team fight.
Potatoes.
So you just want Megan R going in Vander. Knock.
Hey.
Denies a jump, I believe. Flash is used then
Potatoes.
turn.
That's good damage from the Hyper, but he doesn't want to take on a Blade of the Ruined King, Mr. Rawls.
Because Face Call was still available. He will never kill Vander there. Unbreakable too. So good move there by Vander. Flash is burned, but can we capitalize on these flashes?
Unicorns of Love certainly want to. Distortion Boots were now picked up by Hylissang, and they maintain control. They did get that tower eventually, as we said.
Now, one thing I like about Power Beetle's build is that he didn't go for a tier, as he's done before on Orianna, but he goes for the Athenes, and it's easily prompted because he's playing against a magic damage mid laner. Yeah, okay. We have magic damage mid laners in the middle. But a magic damage jungler too on the Nidalee, so Athenes goes up in value so much. The magic resistance you get from that item, from initially the Chalice and then upgraded into Athenes, just so valuable. And I like it. It's earlier spike, more CDR, leaves you vulnerable, you know, to 80 damage, but the only really 80 damage is Mr. Rawless. And if Rawless gets in range of an Orianna, he'll just die.
I think it's a good point you bring up because of the
The
fact that
lag is real.
Power of Evil's gone tier so often. Oh, Hylissang, you're in so much trouble. Gets a two-man stun, but it doesn't matter.
Good read. Greedy warding from Unicorns of Love and good grouping up here from Roccat.
So if you want to know how to
Yankos and
stream,
Vander
just go
working
to
for that
Twitch
pick.
TV.
Because we'll have to push out mid and migrate to the top lane, get some deep vision control in the
Well,
enemy
you
red
need to
jungle.
have OBS as
Perhaps
well.
hit on that top lane
Also,
tower because Steve just
you need to
teleported
go
down and his
to-
tier 2 tower is open. That's what we're seeing right here. Unicorns clearing that
kind
pink
of-
ward. Moving 4 people
Yeah.
up. However, this does leave your mid lane
Go
exposed.
down to
Rocket say
dashboard.
just yield top tower completely. Let's go mid. Power Evil now realizes that. That's why he's
Dashboard.
walking
If
back.
you can go
On the
on
map,
to
he's like,
this.
guys, we have this tower secured. Good. Don't need me.
And then you
We're
stream
taking a
play.
super safe path too.
Click on it.
Walking around.
So tower for Dragon.
And in turn, Yankos.
Go
Sometimes you
to
can just
your
watch
thing,
the legends
go
by just watching the
to
minimap. You don't need to see what's on the screen.
settings.
Yankos just went in and placed a couple of deep wards.
Broadcast settings.
So these are
and
all
then
things that
put
are
your
tied together
stream
just
key
with an
in
initial
there.
pick-off.
And then you
It's
can
fun to
stream
watch
on
the
your
predictable
account.
map.
So
And a
easy.
face checks into the dark.
Unbreakable Will. And
So you
follows
just
up
go
with the
like
Fate's
this.
Call.
He's safe.
And then you put,
Important to note
if you want to
that
see
when
yours, just
Rock, you will
put
move to the top
Twitch
half of the
TV
jungle. They
forward
only got a
slash your
single
game.
ward.
Yeah, they
your
were
gamer
out.
in.
tag.
So
Because their water died and there was no sight zone on the leads because this time Horo is snowballing, so he's going for pure damage. Yes, he built Cinder Hulk, but he's going for Swords for Shoes after, and now he's has
And
the
then if
makings
you
of
want
haunting
to
guys.
do it,
And that's traditionally what
change
we've
it,
seen in the
you press
past when
edit,
this was played. Back when
as
Cocoon was
well as playing
very
on
easy to
PG,
land
of course.
on a remotely low cooldown and had a long duration. You keep Cocoon level 1, rely on your base damage, just go double penetration build.
You change it
And
to
try and
whatever
beat
you
your
want
opponents
to
that
put
way.
it. Put late game.
a lot of percentage damage from that Q on Elise. Maybe needed. Steve farming up relatively well. He is behind Chachi,
Balloons.
but he's got that Righteous Glory completed. He's got the
TD5.
Warden's Mail, so
Done.
a little bit of HP, a little bit of
And
armor.
then it's all good. Then you
Looking
can
to
click start
slow
the
that down to
stream.
engage.
Looking at a
It'll take a
potential
while,
explosive
but
mid game
you'll
with
see
both supports picking up
everything.
distortion boots very early in this game. This puts you obviously your cooldown on flash goes down massively. In addition to the master you already have, very often gives you 2 flashes for 1 on your opponents. So you burn it once, they flash 2, then you burn it again, they no longer have flash and
Too
catch
many.
time, or you simply find an opening. Especially Vander, because you can use that.
No.
Rawls can always pull him back with Fate's Call. And now the last tier
It says
1 tower,
live. We're now streaming.
second to last.
You always want to
for
mute
Roccat
yourself
remaining.
because then you'll
Mid one's
get.
still standing there for PoE.
Probably a while before that one goes down into Orianna. Just gonna have a look
So
see on my
there,
screen.
you're streaming.
It is 85% HP in the mid lane, so that one's going down slowly.
Congratulations
He's out of
doing
mana,
that.
Yankos can steal this, yeah. That's good
steal.
tempo. That's really good
Got
tempo because now
60K
he has
and
the
I don't
base
even
instead
know
of
what
have
he
regeneration from the blue buff. He can hold this for 1 or 2 waves, but then mid lane is exposed. Roccat might be
That's brave.
position.
He gets a cocoon though. Horo's looking, sinks the fangs in, repels up and goes to a minion. So confident play here from Horo. But look at the grouping. Roccat on the tower.
He bought himself some time. That's all he needed. He always knew he could repel to the minions at the tower, as long as he didn't die.
Too much
Power
lag.
Evil had to base. He picked up Rabadon's Death Cap. No
Departure.
defense.
Yeah.
Those shields are probably gonna be shielding for quite a lot already. Rank 1 only. So yeah, 100 and Or over 200, 210 health already on those shields.
It's going to be super effective. Oro's not actually finished the Haunting, guys. Went for Giant's Belt from that Ruby Crystal.
So he fell behind. He didn't get an additional gank off, and he said, okay, my Magic Pen won't be enough right now. Probably need to be more of a tank presence, so he's going to sit on that for a while. Leave that Amp Tome there for whatever he builds later, and perhaps go into the mix of a Randuin's. Says suddenly I need MR2, so he's building little pieces and snippets of different items, but he can.
Could Steve get run down? Hylissang's going to look for the stun. Vardags has used on the hunt.
Backup is coming though, Steve just needs to survive.
Let's see, Steve is going to jump onto Vardags. Boomerang Blade connects. Power of Evil was off on the side lanes. Vardags is going to get away.
Yeah,
Steve will
that's
get away,
fine.
I should say.
5-man commit to the
Look,
far side of the
you're
map. That leaves mid lane
streaming.
open.
You can see yourself.
Buff picked up 4 Nuke Duck eventually. And Power of Evil makes it back in time for mid lane.
Ridiculously cool.
Arms race continues. Both teams just looking for farm, just looking for their items. Frozen Heart now for Steve. Going to help reduce the auto attacks and the damage from both Sivir and Gnar. Mini Gnar chucks a whole lot out.
You can feel that this is game 4 in the best 5 series with the tempered approach. Game 1 was explosive, game 2 less, but still. And game 4 is very slow. We'll probably see some action around the next dragon. 1-1 apiece. Well, traditionally you don't really see too much action because you can trade a dragon for tier 1. Chachi poking out Vander because he's fighting for vision control because they want that dragon. This is the prelude to what will happen around 70 seconds from now. In this beginning of the game, you can trade a tier 1 tower for a dragon. Right now, you're out of tier 1 towers to trade, so you have to commit or you give up a dragon for free. If you do that too much, you start losing the game.
So Chachi's going to go Mega Gnar for the Siege. This should force Rocket to play a little more defensively.
They can send in Vander at any time. Always Fates call him out.
I get proven wrong as Vander just goes straight in for that knockup, as you mentioned, Crepo. Once Mega Gnar fades...
Alistar has 2 get out of fail free cards. You know, 1 Unbreakable, 1 Fates Call.
On the condition you don't stack them, which is something we have seen in the Summer Split before.
But we've seen this before, haven't we? Sieging at tier 2 on the bottom lane against Victor.
With Steve teleporting in behind, looking for a gank. No, I can't say that is... Wait, is that a teleport that's going to be coming in on the try-push? There's Steve! Unicorns of Love now find themselves in a team fight. Vizichachi's shot. That's a great shockwave! 3 members of Rocket get chunked down. That may have saved Unicorns' lives. Fight may continue.
Steve's good at flanking, but if you walk into a choke point against Power of Orianna, he's still forward. Yeah, you're not going to pass that. He's doing his best Gandalf impersonation, and that dragon... Not quite a Balrog, will still go down, it seems. That ball's in the choke point right now, and they're very scared to enter.
Flash and Gnar is available for Mega Gnar. We'll see if we can find stuns. Unicorns have not started the dragon yet. Pull it out. They'll take a couple of hits. Boulder Toss comes out, as does the Wallop. Mini Gnar, that's it. Gets chunked by a dead laser. That's a flash of the Chaos Storm. Hylissang's going to be in trouble, but the fight is on 2 fronts. Hilly's down, as is Vardags. We see the Fates Call. That's going to be locked onto Horror. 3 members of UOL down. The dragon gets secured by Rocket as well. They even out the gold.
What a fantastic play by Steve, trying to soak the cooldowns. He says, guys, okay, I got this. I'm still healthy. If I just walk in, eventually they'll use their cooldowns on me. Then Nuke Duck, he reads that beautifully. He flashes in aggressively on Victor, says, okay, I might go down here, but damn hell, I'll take 3 people with me. And this aggressive play, proactive play from Rocket is what we haven't seen so far in this series up until last game. And Jankos, very low. Trying to say, wait, this might be a... Remember, Rawls is execute. You only need to bring this to 2K. Right in the back of the pit.
2K's there. Rend, who's going to get it? Mr. Roth, the shockwave comes out. It gets some damage. They lose Steve, but Rawls was able to kill the Baron. Chachi and Power of Evil trying to hold Rocket in the pit. Rawls is going to hop over the wall, but they lose 2 in the process.
Yeah. Rawls waited for his Q to come back up and didn't fail that ever so important wall up. And now we went from chasing into a choke point against Orianna, seemingly losing the dragon, to good controlled aggression there. They didn't panic at all. They sent Steven first to soak up the cooldowns. And then that flash from Nuke Duck. Yeah, fantastic play. He's definitely showing up in this series more towards the end.
Well, another siege coming up against Baron Minions. Mega Gnar, the hop, the crutch. Wow, he goes way wide. Gets a Gnar against the wall. All of Unicorns follow. They've got Mr. Rolls. There's no more damage to follow it up. Rocket are forced to retreat, and UOL are going to get the tower.
Yeah, what happened there was Vander was trying to W knock back the Gnar as he was hopping in, but he ended next to Vander, so Vander knocked him sideways, and then Rollins was like, how the hell did that Gnar get here? Let's watch that again. Steve is soaking up this, look, the ball moves to the right side, Steve steps in, Chachi uses his cooldowns preemptively, again, cooldown soak on Steve, laser, this is the key laser, this one right here, gets him low enough, and then Nuketox just walks in because he sees AoE potential. On the left side, Vander goes in because Fate Skull is still available. Horo, what goes up, let's come down, he dies, Dragon almost gets stolen by a mini Gnar boomerang here, but just zero hesitate. Once they go in, they all go together, and I really like that from Rocket. I mean, we've seen that before. A game where Nuketox played Irelia against Ezreal mid, and in the team comms that came out as well, he was like, I can E-flash, I can E-flash. Wait for it, and we go. And this was the same thing. Just wait for it, wait for it. Laser points is like, go, go, go. Now, beautiful execution. The game's even yet again.
Scary thing about the game being even, though, is that Unicorns have 3 extra towers. So if Rocket can start to push a little more, they're going to accelerate that gold lead, despite losing, what, 3 members of Baron buff?
And they just have such a good team fight composition with Maokai, Alistar, Victor. Just try and catch somebody and try and survive.
Chachi's going to try to run down Vander a little bit. Gotta be a little careful. It's forward. It's the hyper proc, but here's Baron and 5 minions and Rocket are starting the siege.
And the later you go in a game, the less important damage component of Tibbers becomes. The more important, it just matters how many people you get and how much follow-up is in range. You know, earlier in the game, Annie can like one-shot an 80 carry. Later on, maybe do some damage, but you really want the follow-up to come out from Power Evil or Chachi with the Mega Gnar, which is the ulti. Today I learned.
Yeah.
It's like, it's called Gnar. How confusing can you make it?
Exactly.
Please.
Gnar lands the Gnar! But Power of Evil, quite a big departure from his regular build. Deathcap second item, another large rod.
Sonya's, I imagine.
We'll find out once he gets a little more farm. Slightly behind Nuketox, even in the top lane. Rylai's actually picked up here for Horo. So a little bit of mixture of AP and HP.
I got it.
That was what the Amtone was for, with the Giant's Belt.
Let's see how effective it makes Horo.
Likely it was going down from the start, so he didn't actually opt for the hunting guys. He wanted to shift that build over. Obviously, different build up for Rylai's. Easier now that you can go Rubicus into the Giant's Belt.
For Jankos, also a slight departure. He's picked up that Abyssal Scepter. Alright, we're seeing Steve with Home Guards. Where is he going? Just out of base. Look at the observers trolling us. Building up anticipation and tension.
They're just merely highlighting the fact that he bought Home Guards. Thank you, observers. I do appreciate you. Unlike other unmentioned casters on this very desk.
Yes, if you don't
really
know,
stale game again. We'll probably see a face-off around the dragon. This time, however, Rocket have Vision there planted down initially. They can base fill up their wards again. Now,
Ice Tower
sticking potentially to this Rocket lineup. With caution though, power in numbers.
Rocket, they're split up though.
Banner has no, it doesn't need to get the Righteous Glory. Goes for the Aegis this game because obviously Nidalee hates building that. Just not a very efficient item for her.
Wow!
Yeah, lasers go pew pew. Sivir ulti gets popped though. Cleanse out of Tibbers. This is big, this is big. This is why you run Cleanse on Victor. Power Evil went for the Ignite. Orianna, let's see if we can make that more valuable than the Cleanse right there. I don't think you can. That should be Dragon because this is the main initiation tools have been used. Sivir ulti on the hunt is down. Flash Tibbers is down.
Okay, that's out.
He has no flash. No room for error now. Although Nuketox not necessarily being in range, or he's actually not had many missed
I don't
positions
think I can fit another one
in the course of this series.
See how Power Evil could have pulled the trigger on ultimate there, he just didn't want to. He doesn't want to trade his ultimate for a flash on Jankos, because that would really mean that the dragon is lost. Rocket also pushing the wave. They don't just start grouping around the dragon just yet. They wait for it to spawn. Meanwhile, they keep putting mid lane pressure as long as they can.
Now,
they want to inch in
get OP.
get some vision advantage, but these two pink wards Rocket have there. Make it quite hard. Steve is ready with the flank teleport. Wards behind the Unicorns.
Again.
No on the hunt. This could be a repeat scenario. Game 2 in the European LCS.
It's being channeled. Steve is running in. He's going to get slowed by a boomerang, but he's still going to find Chachi. Now Steve is forced to flash defensively. Gets caught by a boulder toss. Gets caught by a crunch. Gravity Field should cover his exit. On the hunt is about 15% away from being available. No, it's going to hold Steve against the wall. Steve jumps onto Horror, flash forward from Vander. He's found Hylissang.
What's the Orianna ball?
Retreat. The Orianna ball gets Jankos and Steve, and Mr. Rolls was able to avoid it. Nobody has gone down yet, and a lot of cooldowns have been used.
I just love watching these zone control type of fights where everybody's hesitant to step too far forward because one Chaos Storm or one Shockwave can decide to fight. He's not quite up to that lethal point just yet on that Orianna Power Evil where one RW can decide whether Squishies live or die, but it was close. Rocket do pick up the third
Oh
round
yes,
of the
that's
series.
so much.
Had a convenient time for them. 12 minutes remain.
How unfortunate.
Raptor Wars.
Chachi goes Mega Gnar and unable to get the last hit. Power of Evil did not go Hourglass. More zone control tools, Crepo.
Rylai's.
Props for that Rylai's.
Yeah, definitely worth going for if you're not getting engaged upon. We haven't really seen PoE get caught. Also shown in score, 0 deaths, so 40% slow on single target and AoE spells now too. As long as there's no damage over time. So really, really good control to the control mage. That is Orianna, so keep watching PoE's ball placement in these fights and keep watching Victor's lasers from Nukedog. That is definitely worth to watch in these fights. And then watch how these people play around them. If you're wondering why does this guy not press R, why doesn't he go in, why doesn't he flash? Because they're respecting the counter engage damage and the sheer amount of zone control from both these mages.
And oftentimes the threat of having a Shockwave down will
is bigger.
force Rocket's hand as well.
It's like when you play Blitzcrank, the threat of your hook is very often bigger than the hook itself because you'll miss it.
Sadly, I often do. Now, Rocket maintain an even gold presence. They are slightly behind in towers, but they are ahead in dragons. And it's been the story of this game that we get pushed to the late game, and then position around objectives will determine the victor. But for Rocket, they seem to have woken up this series after a strong win.
Good adaptation, just the passive approach with a lot of MR didn't really work traditionally against the old Unicorns perhaps, yeah? Stack MR, go late game, can work against Unicorns, but the new Unicorns doesn't really work. New revamp 2.0.
That's a fantastic point because you mentioned at the beginning of Game 3 that it's time to drop your prep and react to what you're seeing. And so far, Rocket seem to be doing well. UOL have reacted. They got a good start to this game. Rocket bounced back. And now it feels like Rocket are a little more in control. It feels like Rocket are just driving the game slightly more than UOL. But it is like,
however,
such a knife edge.
One thing that we, rather as the broadcast team, when we were preparing these matches, that we went over some of the old matches, one comment was that the games got played on 2 lanes instead of 3. And that is something that we have seen in this series. How often have we seen anybody really exert split put pressure to the point where towers were falling, people were moving around, where that was the metronome of the game dictating the pace? Not really. We've seen endless amount of grouping and then eventually, like here, oh, this wave is sacked, I shall quickly clear it. But when you watch the likes of Fnatic just play the game, they go for more split push. They say, yes, we can stay safe 4 against 5. We read the game perfectly. We can then use that 6th man pressure from the minion wave, and it's not really working. That's what results in just these Baron fights over and over in full vision.
It's happening again. It's happening again. Mega Gnar is going to pop shortly, so Chachi will have that tool.
Victor's back, so likely we'll see Unicorns of Love back out, Rocket rotate in the mid lane. Unless an explosive fight starts out.
Here's the ball. And there's the rotate to mid.
Yeah, our Dance of Dragons is slowly devolving in a potential game of throws here. As we keep grouping around this Baron.
So less lag now.
No apparent reason. This is, I've said this before, these half-assed Barons are just more symptoms of poor shot calling. It's like, what do we do? Minion waves on silence, yeah, they're not pushing. Nobody prepped them. Deep vision, yeah, I can't get there. There's a Baron here, let's hit it. Oh, damn it, they saw it with the wards. It's clear in the pit. I guess it's back out there.
This Just the truth, unfortunately.
It is, however, very easy for me to say that from here.
Yes.
I mean, you've seen it. I've tried
And
it in the
for-
game. I've called many of those Barons.
And for Rocket, it's even more difficult to make a call
No,
because
it's the way.
their playoff
Okay.
chances are on the line.
Yeah.
A loss in this game means Rocket go straight to the regional qualifier, which happens after Stockholm, in the studio, and it'll be a rematch with Giants, which was the last match they played in the regular split. It was a tiebreaker
Yeah.
that put Rocket against UOL. So
With Yasuo on Nuketox, so should they win, they could have their trump card. I revealed to you
These things can
Yasuo.
be so
there's a hover
annoying.
for Yasuo this game as well.
Yeah, we're getting closer.
But Nuketox playing it safer when there's so much on the line. Actually, we get rematches for multiple places because if UOL win, of course, they advance the semi-finals. They
Yep.
maintain that 20 championship point lead over H2K. And they're going to be looking at this man, Chachi, to help them get there.
Yeah. Banner of Command, obviously not quite useful into an 80-based laner like Vizitachi on the Gnar here. Gonna take care of that. At least we're seeing some side lane pressure. Teams have learned.
No
The Baron's not
BFB.
working on either regard. But we're stalling and the next dragon is spawning in 30 seconds. Let's see how they approach this dragon fight.
For Unicorns, very important for them to secure this. It would put Roccat one dragon away from Aspect. I don't think we've got an Aspect yet this series.
Nope. Don't believe so.
Despite getting very, very close. But for UOL,
At this
we
point,
seem
though,
to be more concerned about Baron.
Baron melts quickly. If you put Gnar, Elise, Orianna, Sivir on it, it goes down very quickly. If you put Kalista with Victor and Nidalee on it, it'll go down too. So whoever tunnels a bit too much, this is like your reverse. You're not. It seems like they're waiting for that ward to come out and fight them. It's like, it stays still. Never mind. Wards don't attack people. Okay, Dragon's exposed. Kalista can go solo it. We have Alistar with face check potential with Unbreakable. Now they started. They cleared the ward immediately.
Watch the... Wow, look at that HP
Kalista's
bomb.
not there. Kalista's not there though. They can burn it.
This is being dropped down. Hylissang
Watch
looking
Jankos.
to...
He's got a spear and he wants to
zone.
execute.
I think the spear connected 1,400. He goes in. It's secured
This is it.
by the Unicorns of Love. And Jankos explodes. Fate's Call will save Vander for a while. A defensive flash from Steve keeps him alive. There's a Chachi now looking for the hyper. Mr. Rawls, you are on the wrong side of the lane. 2 down and Baron.
Note how Hylissang went for Flash Q instead of Flash Baron. Flash Cocoon goes on Steve.
Oh, Shockwave pulls him backwards as well. Gravity Field will keep Steve alive for a few seconds longer.
Horo
Nuketox
drops in the
manages
laser.
to kill Horo. I didn't even see that happening. Inhibitor turret is going to be the focus. Baron empowered minions. UOL have cracked open the base.
And just like that, pseudo 50-50 Baron opens up the game for at least one team. Unicorns have the better play there. They knew somebody would be soloing the Dragon, so they were banking on either finishing the Baron with a burst damage or initiating an on the hunt Sivir fight. So in that regard, it was good.
It gets worse, Crepo. Dragon wasn't even secured.
Dragon, no, he had to peel off. Mr. Wallace saw that was going down. I think Rocket could have actually traded just Baron for Dragon and then went for the 5th one. And is moving in right now. He's going for some damage.
So, follow-up team fight. Look at the damage here from Nuketox. Chachi's going to hop away. Gravity Field zoning. Chachi does not have flash. He's down.
Vardags has
Defensive flash from Vardags. They at least get
I'll be right
improved
back.
kill. But Dragon number 2 to your one.
Oh, it's
This is where you make the
this
sun.
for a good half an hour.
Wall
and
trades.
50.
Flashes are still up on Jankos and Wallace. Down on Vander, down on Steve. More importantly, down on Nuketox. But a lot of flashes burn on UOL as well. If they can't use this one inhibitor advantage very well, then Rocket might actually be okay after losing that Baron. Evening out the
Find out.
gold with this siege. Overall, I don't think it'll mean too much. One inhib is down, but if it's any inhibitor you want to lose, it is the mid lane one. It's the easiest defendable. If anything, red control goes easily in your favor. You can't lose any more neutral objectives. They're both off the map, so likely we'll go back to a very slow game. Horo finds out his blue buff is not there anymore. Close down once.
Then back.
We're likely to see a siege in the bottom lane. And we're likely to see Steve teleport behind UOL for a fight.
Yeah, well, if history repeats itself, but that siege is still very far off because Steve is currently pushing out the bot lane. So that's at least going to take him roughly a minute or a minute and a half, and by that time the Baron buff will be out.
Yeah.
And then we have Victor wave clearing again, so Vardags using his buff against Banner of Command. Pushing him in, so the move you would make here if you are the Unicorns is push out mid, rotate to the top side, deep ward the enemy red jungle, and just keep that control for as long as you can. force Roccat to waste wards entering their jungle.
Yeah.
Now, you want to do ball check every bush on the way, and eventually maybe find Vander right here. Teleport.
Interesting to see Power of Evil go for a 4th item Ludens as opposed to a Void Staff. And Chachi's working his way towards that Black Cleaver, increasing his split push thread. Look, Chachi's pushing bottom, has teleport available. The rest of you are well. They're sieging up top without Baron.
Yeah, not much MR on Steve. And then very squishy members in the backline that he just wants to hit with that Ludens poke. That's all he wants to do. Power of Evil says, I don't need Void Staff. If I can connect a couple of spells to you guys, you're dead anyways. So I don't need the penetration from that item. Steve battling off. Doesn't have the traditional split push build though, so normally you see like a Frozen Mallet here or Black Cleaver, something that can whittle through, reduce that armor on Steve. Obviously he has Frozen Heart Torment, so that's going to be so approach to that bottom lane tower. But pressure is on the Unicorn side.
Death Ray comes out early there from Nuktak.
There's one ward for a flank. Steve will have to base for home guards, else that'll be in full vision. Hillsang will likely clear that ward right now.
Didn't do it just yet.
Probably out of vision then.
Chachi and Steve are still trading. And that Black Cleaver is really helping Steve out for the time being, despite multiple hyper procs. Not really a wet noodle fight, but taking as long as one would usually. The rest of you are well. They're still trying the siege. They're still challenging the wave.
Watch that laser. It's not going to happen. We'll need to see some variation on this play. A bait, a flash Tibbers, perhaps a fight in the bot lane. Mega Narc comes out. It's 600 free health, give or take. 800 perhaps at this point. But it's fine. If Unicorns keep this up and they keep their wards alive, keep their side zone a little forward, their trinkets on cooldown, they can make this a Baron bait. It'll be 4 minutes from now perhaps, but or 3 minutes as their buff recently ran out, but they could technically do that.
For you a while, they may have to because they're still even on gold. But the damage that Nuktak is putting out is terrifying. Mr. Riles has got a lot of items completed and a QSS, so he can get out of a hilly stun.
Yeah, that's very important. That will change the way Rawless plays his teamfight by a significant margin. Because now he can dash in aggressively, QSS out and keep fighting. And Hillsang obviously needs a couple of seconds to get the next stun rotation off. If he can then flash the Cocoon, or just avoid that somehow, he is free to reign these fights and save fight for Rihanna ulti, and then he can do a lot of damage, especially with the Renounced Hurricane, proccing on multiple members in these fights.
For anybody that wants to see a game 5, Rocket cannot afford more mistakes. Dragon and Baron spawn within 5 seconds of each other in the next minute and a half. Now, I've been watching Vander's cooldown for Banner of Command. He's not used it yet. Despite there being a siege minion up front, he's holding on to the cooldown, waiting for the appropriate time.
Yeah, because there's no appropriate minion to use it. If you use it mid, it'll get cleared. If you use it on the side lane, it'll get cleared. You want to use that cooldown 30 seconds before an objective goes live, because very likely nobody will be close to clear that minion, and then you can still get the split push in time for that to matter for that objective, or at least one of them. So just don't waste it just yet.
A smart play then from Vander. Unicorns take
Or
it.
he just forgets he has the item. Happens to, but I doubt it.
Let's go with option 1, shall we?
I think Vander's smarter than that.
Smarter than your average... don't know where I was going with that.
Average player?
No, I don't know.
That's why they're in the LCS, Trevor. They're ever so slightly better than your average player. Fantastic analysis. No, but yeah, Vander is a very vision-focused support in that regard, so he's obviously watching these waves a lot. I like this ward in the mid game. Forces a sweeper at the worst. If at best, it gives you mid lane vision, which is really what you want. Every rotation is pivoted around mid lane. I think Professor Kobe explained that once, how these rotations actually work.
Rotations and translations.
Yeah. Let's just call it map movements for now.
The movement between objectives. Those are going to be tested. 10 seconds to Dragon. Baron will be spawning shortly. There is deep vision in the top half of the map. Rocket make it clear where their focus is for the time being. If they're late to this party again...
Baron started in full vision. Chachi is zoning. Jankos is going low. He has the smite. Steve's teleporting, but nowhere to be found. He teleports on a ward that's too far away. No home guards.
Baron's going to be down. Baron's going to be down. It's taken. That's a second of the game for Unicorns, but the team fight's going to follow up. Mr. Rolls is trying to kill Chachi. Chachi forced to hop over the wall. Now Vander is going to get pulled back by Fate's Call. Nuktak still holding on to the Chaos Storm. He's going to throw it down in a second or two. Where is the Shockwave? Key ultimate's being used. Steve gets cocooned in place, I believe that was.
Run to the hills. Run to the Dragon, Rocket. Could have traded it for the Baron. Memzo Chunk improved recall going out, only 4 seconds to base. But Hylissang might sacrifice his life to buy some time here.
Find out.
Comically, quickly walking, but
This
Dragon should be secured forward. Might have a massive edge. Watch for Chaos Storm. Watch for the flag here. Massive
Wow, that is massive! Dragon secured by Roccat. Chaos Storm almost insta-gives Power of Evil, and in a 1v4, Nukeduck, he almost wins. Unicorns, however, are able to get away.
Oh, Roccat with the miscommunication, they could have just peeled off. Screw that Dragon. You could have simply won the game right there. 4-man Chaos Storm and Laser from Nukeduck, but ends up using both the summoners defensively. That was close. That was at the edge of your screen. Nobody was watching him, especially not Unicorns. That was a fantastic just trap set up by Nukeduck, but just his team wasn't on board with that idea, and they might lose an inhibitor in the mid lane because of it. 40 seconds. Their Nexus towers may get threatened. If Chachi gets Mega Nard, teleports on a minion, that defensive tower, like, all these possibilities are real because the main AoE damage, wave clear.
Can I just say that I'm sitting here watching
Flash
this?
ulti is available in Power of Evil. This could be the game.
We'll find out. Inhibitor down. You are well. Currently going to play it safe.
They're waiting for split push pressure from Chachi. Of course, now they have double split push with the Baron buff. No Banner of Command to defend this from Roccat. Look at these minions, they're getting buffed. Next wave will be coming. Massive wave on the bot lane. Buffed up by Chachi. Just buy some time here, Unicorns.
Nukeduck is alive though.
There he is, teleport on the minion.
That's going to keep it alive. Hylissang's threatening with the stun. Chachi's arrived. No Mega Nard for a little while. He's currently tired. It popped down on the bottom. On the hunt has been used from Vardags, and this could be the game-winning team fight. There's Fate's call. Gonna pull Vander backwards before he lobs himself right back. And the shockwave whips. The shockwave doesn't hit anybody. But Chaos Storm is held onto by Nukeduck. Roccat. They lose an inhibitor and a tower. But they stand strong for now.
They're barely getting
You are
on
well.
screen.
They seem to be re-engaging. Look for the Chaos Storm from Nukeduck.
And just watch how Roccat is pacing around that Orianna ball. Whenever he puts it down, Power Wheel puts it down on the floor, everybody stays away from it. Inhibitor goes down to the sheer amount of zone control. Bottom lane, that massive minion wave knocked down the tower almost. It's on 35% of HP, as we see in your picture-in-picture right there on the bottom left of your screen. Corners of Luck with a good firm grasp on this game, but the gold is only 4,000 in the difference.
On the series win, Crepo.
Match point.
2 lanes of super minions.
This guy right here, it's like, yeah, that's League of Legends. It's me.
Sheepy's not impressed with the distraction. But he should be impressed.
He
with
was
his
like, is the
team's
crowd
play.
laughing at me? Is there something stuck in my teeth or something? He's just unaware of what's happening around himself. But his team, the Unicorns, yeah, fantastic hold of the map right now. And those Barons, better every time they do it. More secure. And Roccat, too late to the party. They could have been sitting on Aspect, traded that first Dragon for the Baron. Said, okay, it's fine. I don't care. Push an inhibitor. It's only 3 minutes, the Baron buff you get, so make it count. And then
Takes Steve forever to kill that banner.
he only has auto attacks, remember. No magic
So
damage. It's
long.
immune to magic damage, so that attack speed, scaling attack speed rules the counter to magic.
Well, Unicorns of Love now have the arguable toughest test. Get the last line of objectives. They need to buy time for those supers to get in the base.
Steve is waiting in the void gates here. We'd watch his glory. Sadly, his belly is sticking out. Are spotting him with that pink ward.
Koro gets rid of all of the traps.
Just watch mid lane, watch top lane. This game is panic engaged by Roccat because they know they only have about 30 seconds and Unicorns know that they know.
Yeah. We'll see whether or not Unicorns knowing that Roccat know that Unicorns know will change anything. Mega Nard, the timer has started. The threat is there.
They can straight up dive through this tower as well. 30% is nothing. 1, 2, 3 hits on the tower. It goes down. Steve gets stunned.
The super minions on the Nexus turrets. Roccat have to decide what do they do. They've sent back their members to Waveclaw. They've lost a Nexus turret. Super minions, they're on to the second one. Roccat, they're undecided. Pick one and commit. Roccat, they're going to lose a third inhibitor.
Double combo.
There's a double combo. We see Mr. Rolls is defending the Nexus. Steve trying to hold off. The rest of you are well. That was a flash. That moves in there. All 3 inhibitors down. There's only 1 Nexus turret remaining between a semi-final fight with Fnatic and a flight to Stockholm for the Unicorns of Love. But they're going to play it safe. And they're going to move their way out.
Talk about an anti-climax.
Well,
Chachi.
maybe not, Chachi. Wow. Wow.
Oh, wow. That's big. That's big for next fight. So 3 inhibitors down. 1 Nexus tower remains. 1 minute to Baron. 1 minute to Dragon. We've said this before. Let's see. Rocket no longer in a position to trade. They're stuck defending their base. So where Banner of Command does help you clearing waves, but we need a whole lot more than that. Yeah, this is where you need a hero steal. Sorry, observers are having fun with Gentleman Nar. Yes, am I correct?
Yep. Gentleman Nar playing with his pocket watch as we hit 51 minutes into the game.
At least Renounce is valuable here to clear those creeps quicker. Yeah, frantically pushing out a Rocket. Not only, they're so afraid because in every brush, you know, every step you take, every move you make, UOL could be watching you. Probably are. Could be killing you. So, pushing in mid lane, just keep them in the base and then just peel back. And then, yeah, Fear of the Dark comes out. You have to face like every single brush until you get to that Baron.
Middle inhibitors respawn. Banner of Command minion
Dies.
gonna get killed up by Mr. Rolls, but look at UOL. They grouped up the top, fell, what, 45 seconds to a minute after the middle one. Maybe a little longer, actually.
This is greedy from Unicorns. They could just simply peel back. Why go for a fight when you can buff yourself up and your minions more? Nukeduck no flash, so has guns available. Boatload AP. Let's take stock of what they have just now.
Mega Gnar is gonna
900
come out.
AP on Nukeduck.
Chachi has got Megan. Look at the size of that ball. Come on, protect. He'll be able to help UOL out. Here's the engage from Rocket. They brought Hylissang. I'm not sure that's the best. We are going to see the Fates call in a moment or two. UOL have peeled back. Horo is trying to get Jankos. The Shockwave only catches Steve. Horo is able to zone away Jankos, but it's Mr. Rolls that has got Power of Evil. Now Vardax wants to try and clean up the fight. Nukeduck, get one onto Horo. He gets another onto Vardax. And there's a flash as a rend. Mr. Rolls has just taken out Vizichachi. There are super minions in the base. They are being dealt with by Steve and by Jankos. Rocket win a 4-0.
The Nexus could really go down. There's 4 siege creeps hitting on that Nexus. It's at 65% right now. This could mean game over. Frantically Hylissang.
He's trying
that's
to
the wrong base.
Nope, that's not where you want to be. Right.
Told you it was greedy. I love it when I'm right, but at the same time, I hate to see this happening to the Unicorns of Love. That fight is worth analyzing frame by frame, by the way. If you watch how Power of Evil used this ball and how Rawlins was baiting it. He stepped forward into the ball twice to get the ult to be cast. Power of Evil said no to the bluff, but he was so busy watching that ball that eventually nothing happened and he died. I don't even know how he died, but somehow he died. Probably eat like... Yeah, let's watch that again. Keep your eyes on Vizichachi here. The ball is going to move forward and then Rawlins will eventually on the left side walk into that. Dragon is going down to Rocket. But this mind game is so interesting. Everybody's dancing around this Orianna ball. Rawlins is going to walk forward right now. Here, he's trying to bait it. See how he's sidestepping every time? He gets hit. Orianna ulti gets used on Steve only. But how the hell does Power of Evil die here? Gets knocked up somehow and immediately gets popped. And that is the opening for Rocket here. And good positioning by Rawlins. And this is why they got him over Woolite, Baron, and Aspect in game 4.
Yamato Cannon, you should be clapping, my friend. Aspect of the Baron. Aspect.
Even our cameramen are getting dizzy just watching this game.
The audience is split.
Yeah, for Unicat, I think it has to win. A Rocket Corn, I don't know.
Rocket Corn. Crepo though. Aspect of the Baron.
But no wards, so right now what Rocket is thinking, is there any place in our base that has a ward? Because Chachi can teleport. Okay, we're clear. Okay, then slowly move out, and the time it takes for you to set up that perimeter, your Baron and your Aspect is gone, so all the excitement will probably die down. But still, now we're hitting the point where it doesn't matter what your gold lead is. We talked about this before. You know how gold leads over time in the same value become less efficient? This is how we can highlight it. 24k to 20k, it's a big lead. 87k to 83k, why not so big?
Definitely not. 55 minutes on the clock. Rocket, famous for their longer games. I'd like to welcome our North American viewers. Team Solo Mid versus Gravity will follow this series. We could be going to another one, so get your snacks ready. Unicorns of Love.
And this is the point of the game where supports start begging for farm because everybody's on 6 items, and you want to be that too. However, no time for that. Baron and Dragon are 6 and 5 minutes away, respectively, so absolutely nothing is going on, but still it is so exciting to watch.
Only one inhibitor left to respawn for Rockout. That will at least buy a few seconds of extra time.
For the backdoor.
For the backdoor.
That is crucial. Right now you can rush to the Nexus and kill it, but if those 3 inhibs are up, you at least have a backup plan. You have like, oh, the power goes out, one switch goes out, you can put that back up. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, Rockout. I just want to listen to the comms. I wish you could just find out what they're talking about right now. Like, what do we do? Do you want to go out? No, it's too dangerous. They could be here. Like, these are the type of games that end with a silly face check.
PTL needs to do a mic check on this series. So listen to what the teams are doing. Like you said, Crepo, a silly face check, a single team fight, a single positional error can determine the fates of this series.
Okay, wait, is that? So we're this late in the game, and Horo, I've been praising him all game, still hasn't upgraded his trinket. Jesus Christ, Horo, what are you doing? Nukeduck, you have a sweeping lens. So the vision game shifts to a different form this late in the game because they're no more wards. They're barely in the trinket wards. People are sitting on 2 sweepers. Why do you need 2 sweepers? There's only maybe 5 wards on the entire map. And you can find them anyways with your pink ward trinkets. Switch your damn trinkets. Double scrying orb. Find who you're fighting against. More important, because only supports right now have Sightstone. Junglers have swapped them out.
Tell me how you really feel, Crepo.
It's just like, very often you don't get here because in scrims the game's over, or FF, you know, but at LAN you have to play this out. And yeah, the vision game completely shifts over differently, so switch your trinkets.
Let's step back and think about the match. Does Rockout or Unicorns of Love have momentum on their side?
Rockout have it. Unicorns have tried to get into that base so many times, but have gotten denied every single time. And Chaos Storm right now, Nukeduck, check one more time. He has 1,035 AP.
Just as a note, Crepo, sorry, I know you're saying 1,035 AP, but he's got 2,500 gold
That he's sitting
hasn't
on.
spent money to upgrade that trinket.
Nukeduck. What, are you serious?
Yes.
Are you trolling me?
No.
See, I just checked. He has 2.6k gold. He could upgrade his trinket 10 times and still have money for a pink ward. What are you doing with your life, Nukeduck? He has earned 24,000 gold this game. This is what supports can dream of. All right, earn in a day.
Let's get back to
Alright, the game.
the game. Inhibitors being sieged. Wait, is this an
Micro
engage?
Steve, TP
Get the
home guard.
Steve. Where's the target? Mega Gnar comes up.
Did
Cancel. No, what? No, cancel. Yeah, Steve
Cancel.
decides against it.
Playing being siege up. Okay.
Look, there's minions on the top inhibitor. Rock at their group. Once Mega Gnar times, there may be an opportunity. Flashes are up for everybody on Rockat. Wow, 2 supers. They may get one. There's a flash for
Fury's
Steve.
gone.
He's gone way deep. He's found Power of Evil. Horo's been knocked up as well. Jankos is trying to zone. Mr. Chachi cannot go Mega Gnar. Remember,
Jankos
he's
survives.
tired. Mr. Rolls has got a kill. Power of Evil may
Power
go
of
down.
jumps.
Steve, get down. Power of Evil's down. Horo's down as well. Vordax, however, is still alive. Hill's
Nexus?
standing. Nexus is under threat from super minions. Unicorns of Love, 4 for 1.
Imagine if Vizichachi just peeled off and teleported for the back door. Nukeduck 1k HP, getting even more gold right here. Perhaps he shall finally upgrade his trinket. Who knows? Maybe the game ends before he does it. And yeah, what an opening. As you said, Mega Gnar times out, flash W, and then the moment your heart stops. Like, are they gonna face check into Oriana Ball? Jankos is the only one that got hit there. Aggressive flash from Rawless, and he started hopping forward. This should be the end of the game. You have 40 seconds right now to figure out the plan, how you take down these towers. And 1 Tibbers to defend it all. Oh, he's proxying the wave?
This is fantastic!
Kill the Tibbers!
Crepo, Unicorns of Love have been in Nexus defenses so many times, they've invented new ways to stall the game.
Chachi pull the minions. We have Tibbers defending, but right now, 1 inhibitor is going to drop. This should be the game. 70 seconds remain on Chachi.
20 seconds on the...
Yeah. We got 13k that round. And did you see how long it took? Oh, 197. It's all okay. You can do this. Oh my god, down. EFB down. Moab down. Red balloon straight away. Or game gets to a point where it's easy, but they're going round the first corner. Can I just say that we lost those 2 lives on the first round? We're just like sorting out strategies to get this far. I don't really want these. Oh god, this is gonna take ages to actually die. Okay, from now, first one to put in the comments potato. I don't know why, but first one to put in the comments potato with their the YouTube name, they get a shout out. Okay, first one to put potato and their YouTube name, they get a shout out for YouTube. So okay, quickly chop chop. Okay. Okay, guys. The empty Charles. I'm just gonna see if people want me to play battles today. God. Trying to put him. Guys. Oh guys, if you want me to play another game, just put it in the kind of discussion area, and I'll see if I can get around to it, because I definitely want to get over around 100. Could probably go on for ages. Anyone wants me to play Blowing Tower Defense Battles, my monkeys, show you my monkey city. Well, my monkey city is really just mucked up because I tried to make it look all neat and tidy and I just failed. Okay, BTG battles it is after round 100. Actually, screw it. BTG battles now. BTD battles, I see ya. I see. I see ya. I see ya. BTD battles. I hear you, but guys, BTD battles it is. Bloons Tower Defense battles.
Only one show has everything.
Oh
A little bit of
yes.
this and a whole lot of this. That's right, that's your diaphragm.
And everyone.
This is a big deal, you guys.
Okay, yes, this is now sponsored by Netflix totally.
What's going on?
The ads. The ads can get so
And don't
annoying.
forget these guys.
What? Nothing. What? Nothing.
Wet Hot American Summer. First day of camp. A Netflix original series.
Finally. This. So I'm thinking about going on until the bottom right is 21:30. That's when I'm going to stop and do some other stuff, like edit the video, put it on my YouTube account and all that. So if you want to, so that's when I'm gonna stop it. Okay, and let's try and do a. Let's get the first person in a BTD battle with me. That'll be cool. More or something. Loading to private battle, create battle, copy. Random towers. You should see by now, dude. Come on. Let's do. No. Yeah, let's do that one. So that's my towers. Ooh. Ooh. Sugar. If you're wondering what I would normally go for, oh, I got someone. Mortar. I got this. Bottom. Probably a lot. What a name. Straight away. I was expecting it to go on like that, but when I threw it like that, you get quite a lot of pops. He's gone for the tack shooter start. Everyone loves that. Oh no. I don't know if this is a thing. What are your towers? Tell me please. Please. Like in 36 seconds you can get a glaive ricochet, which is probably my favourite. Monkey. Oh. Probably. Mine. Let's get economy in him. Cool. Let's go, eco. Boomerangs are OP. Oh, we're saving. Oh no, I lost a life. God damn this, people. Lost 3 lives, oh no. Oh no, the wall's gonna blow up. He is still sending me things. But with the glaive ricochet, I don't even have to worry about these. Let's give him some more. He missed? Did you just see that? He missed a throw. Because if you don't know, glaive ricochet only works when it's been hit. Let's put the mortar right there. Let's go and get a bit more eco. I don't really care if he loses with a kind of rush. I'm just gonna win this, I don't care. You send me back, I'll send you back black. Because that's your weakness. Because all you've got against at the moment is for black blooms. Let's get him some more. The burny stuff. The touch of walking need bomb pops additional blooms every 2 seconds. That's going back. So basically, if they survive for a long time, they're gonna get demolished. Let's get the bionic boomer. Dogs. And some regrow blacks. Regrow blacks. Give him some regrows. Let's get this up a lot. Why are you firing there? You ain't getting nowhere near me now. Not with my bionic beamer. Okay, so lag. Go. Go. He doesn't even have any normal. Like if you look at the reds. Oh, ooh. This shows you. OP mortar time. Another ninja time. Another ninja. As you know, ninjas are how would look at this. Down bottom bottom. This is cool. Oh, I love this. Let's do this some more, of course. Toby a lot. Oh guys, this is gonna have to be the end of the stream. See you guys and see you in the next stream.